Captain Kenney, staff of the 57 Army Cadet Corps, Army Cadet League members, support committee members, Corps supporters, parents, and most importantly, the cadets. Thank you for inviting me to be part of your virtual annual ceremony review as we celebrate the successful completion of the 2020-2021 training year. A rather unique year for sure, but nonetheless a successful one. Although the pandemic has been ongoing for little more than 14 months, this year has truly been one for the record books, and probably not soon to be forgotten. The entire training year has been held completely virtual, something that most of us would have thought impossible only a few years ago. We all hoped that after a few months of virtual training last year, it would soon be over, but that was not the case. I am certain cadets are ready to be back in person, training with their friends, attending an FTX, sleeping in shelters, building a fire, attending biathlon competitions, drill classes, firing an air rifle, or even polishing their boots. The time's coming for the activities to return. I'm sure we all hope it'll be sooner than later. The quick thinking and determination of the dedicated staff and senior cadets of 57 were ever present as they developed an engaging and interactive program while keeping the core principles of the Canadian Cadet Organization at heart. This was no easy feat while trying to ensure all cadets could participate, particularly with the challenges of connectivity in rural settings. Being able to keep the program active for the entire training year took a team approach, which was noted from the list of activities 57 was able to maintain throughout the year. Challenge is certainly one word that can summarize the past 14 years. Having to change, adapt, and modify our daily lives and routines, activities, all were different. Something we were not prepared for. There certainly almost could have been disappointments for everyone, which would hinder one's outlook. However, it is important to think of the challenge as a positive in one's life. The cadet program is no stranger to challenging youth to push their boundaries and become more confident citizens through leadership opportunities and a wide variety of opportunities that they may not have had experienced elsewhere. Many former cadets will tell you that it was the challenges and opportunities that they experienced while being a cadet that have made them who they are today. Many businesses will see cadets' years of service on a resume and hire you based on that alone. Challenge can be healthy when combined with resiliency and support. Challenge can push you to develop new skills, gain a deeper connection with knowledge, and increase a sense of pride when a challenge is accomplished. Challenges can provide a certain sense of motivation, increase your awareness of yourself, grow your personality, take control of situations, and build confidence. Just think about where you were 12 years old walking into the Corps and the success that you have gained already. Challenge is an important part of developing as a person. The pandemic has certainly been a large challenge for everyone. Be proud of yourself for having achieved the success this year. To highlight some of the Corps' success would be to mention the participation in cadets of the virtual Master Cadet workshops, sending a cadet to the Cadet Correspondent workshop, having a cadet participate in orienteering training, and even 7 cadets completing the psychological first aid training. 57 was also not shy to share in their opportunities, inviting other corps and squadrons, staff and cadets to participate in an expedition meeting hosted by 57, which included guest speakers. All these activities were new to the Corps, but you can now say that you're part of history in the making. The accolades of the training year did not end there. 57 had 2 of their own receive an Ottawa and St. Lawrence area commendation. Congratulations to Warrant Officer Grant and Lieutenant Valentine. The 2020-2021 training year has undoubtedly had its challenges. Fundraising had to be adjusted, activities cancelled or modified. There was internet connection issues, camaraderie shifted to virtual, and sometimes even activities that you look forward to had to be changed. But new opportunities were also developed, such as the CAP and virtual summer training courses that have been created. I congratulate you all for making it through a rather tough and unwanted year. Your perseverance and resiliency were challenged, and you rose to that occasion, speaking volumes to the values that you hold and the people that you will become. The cadet program continues to be a great program for youth, and 57 is proof of that. Congratulations on another successful year. Cheers and good evening.
Major McDonald, guests, cadets, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to our annual ceremonial review. It's been a challenging year. We haven't been able to meet in person once, not a single time. Not everyone has had reliable access to the internet. Not everyone has time for virtual training after sitting in front of a screen all day for school. Lockdowns, changing rules, it's dashed our hopes. It's been tough. But with vaccinations rolling out, we could see what looks like the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's been a tunnel longer than any of us have expected. But despite the challenges, we have had some successes this year. For example, the staff have been meeting regularly. Every week we're talking to each other. We're trying to troubleshoot and solve problems and plan ahead. Our administration officer, Second Lieutenant Le Baud Roy, she's promoted to Second Lieutenant during this year. That's a success. Our support committee, we've had some people resign, but the committee has still been operational. That's a success. This past fall, we had a fall trail run fundraiser, and we're already in the planning phases for next one. That's a success. The Canadian Cadet Movement has 3 aims to it. The first one is developing citizenship and leadership in youth. Have we done that this year? Yes, we have. Senior cadets have been organizing various events. This has been leadership in action. There's been a running club. There's been Halloween contests. The fitness test was organized by a senior cadet. Christmas celebrations. Various games that are played on Kahoot or on Google Meet. A lot of these activities were organized by senior cadets. Leadership has been happening. Second aim of the cadet movement is to increase your physical fitness. Has that been happening this year? Yes, it has. We've had several sports nights. We've been sharing various content to help encourage you in your own fitness. We've had our online fitness test. We've been collecting fitness trackers. We've been helping people set fitness goals. Third aim of cadets is to develop an interest in the Canadian Forces. We've had some various online events. We looked at some war museum art. We attended a guest speaker who was involved with NASA with another unit. We've explored the Canadian Forces website, along with other activities. So we are still accomplishing our aims. So that's a success. We've also been able to acquire some new equipment for the band. So even if we couldn't do activities, we're still using our funding to increase our resources and increase our capacity for the future. Our band members have been able to participate in music training with the regiment, and some are even doing their level testing. Of course, all this happening and more, this is not just a one-person show. There's lots of people involved in all this to make it happen. So I must give some thank yous, because I am thankful. First, thank you to the staff. Thank you to our training officer, Lieutenant Valentine, who relentlessly researched, organized, planned to try to get training going week after week, all year long. How do we keep it interesting? Thank you to our administration officer, Second Lieutenant Le Baud Roy. She remained a steady pillar of support for everything we do. She was collecting and entering attendance, which was very difficult in a virtual context. Well, how do you know if they did this or not? And if you're not all there at the same time, the same place. And yet she figured it out. She figured out how to enroll cadets virtually, so we have new recruits in the books, even though we've never met them in person. She figured out how to get people registered for various opportunities, like the psychological first aid or the CAP coming up. And generally, she's just been keeping all of the rest of us organized. And she even jumped in as the Gold Star level officer partway through the year. So thank you. Also thank you to Captain Campbell. He's taken over as supply officer this year. He's been doing so much behind the scenes, trying to get our resources and our stock organized. And he also is filling as the Master Cadet level officer, trying to keep the senior cadets on task and advancing in their training. And also, he's been a valuable resource of information and advice for me. This is my first year as commanding officer, and he's been there, and I've been very thankful for his input throughout the year. Thank you to Captain Leger, who managed the Green Star class, and he also had the job of the COVID-19 safety officer, and he developed all kinds of procedures and protocol for when we get back in person. And even though the rules kept changing, which means he kept having to change what he was doing, he was there doing all that behind the scenes so that we'd be ready from when we got the green light. Thank you to Mr. James Devine, who managed the Red Star training this year. It's too bad that we couldn't meet in person, because he's also usually in charge of biathlon and orienteering, so he wasn't able to shine as much as he usually does. But we are thankful for the support he was able to give, because without him, Red Star training would have collapsed. Thank you to Miss Sara Villeneuve, our dynamic Silver Star instructor. Without her, there was no Silver Star class, and her enthusiasm is contagious, and she's very good for morale. Now, we had a couple staff members leave, but we are thankful for their help as well. Captain Guillaume Sauvé and Miss Camille Le Baud Roy, even though your work responsibilities took you away from us partway through the year, that's okay. The time that you were here, your contributions were valuable, and we are thankful for it. Thank you. I also need to thank the support committee. Thank you for not giving up on the cadets. Especially thank you to Mr. Alex Castonguay, who stepped in as acting chair partway through the year and kept things moving. Thank you to Alicia Brady for all her service as chair for so many years, and thank you for your continuing efforts to get the fall fundraiser going this next year, and it's expanding, and more cadet units are going to get involved with it. Thank you so much for your efforts. Thank you to Joanne Rochon for managing the finances faithfully, accurately, timely. You're resigning this summer, and you're leaving some big shoes to fill. We also thank you to Gilles Rochon and Joanne Schnupp and Sabrina Cack for their contributions on the committee. There's going to be some vacancies on the committee in the fall, so we're going to be having an election in September, just a heads up so you know. And also, thank you to the cadets of 57. I know that virtual training is not what you had in mind when you signed up for cadets. It's been tough. Many of you couldn't participate, and we do look forward to seeing you again when we can meet again in person. For those of you who did participate, I commend you for your perseverance and your resilience. You're an inspiration for all of us. And it's with sadness that we say goodbye this year to Chief Warrant Officer Simon Gazy. Simon, you finally made it to the top after years of hard work, but you couldn't command a single parade thanks to this pandemic. I feel for you. I'm so sorry you had to retire this way, and I hope you can look back on the good memories you had with cadets. Work hard in your future endeavors, and be the best version of yourself. I hope that some of the things you learned here in cadets will serve you well in the years to come. To the parents, thank you. Thank you for keeping your sons and daughters motivated all year long, not just with cadets, but with everything going on with the pandemic, with school and social life and everything else. You've had a tough job. You have to juggle challenges like no one ever has before. How can you even set rules and boundaries for healthy screen time when everything is virtual? So thank you for not giving up on your kids. To our friends at the Legion in Hawkesbury, thank you for being willing to host us at your Legion Hall. It's too bad our pandemic rules couldn't allow for it with all the stay-at-home orders and everything else, but it was encouraging to know that you were there and ready to step up to the plate to say, yes, we will house the cadet unit when things with VCI didn't work out. Also want to thank my supervising staff in Ottawa, Lieutenant Commander Fraser, Captain Johnston Brown, and Lieutenant Learmonth for their support during the year. They've been faithfully passing on and receiving truckloads of information to and from all the cadet corps in the Ottawa and St. Lawrence area. It's been a daunting task. Thank you for this opportunity to serve under you. And lastly, thank you to everyone who participated in making videos to make this annual ceremonial review possible. We couldn't have done it without you. I hope I didn't forget anyone. My apologies if I did. I wish you all a good summer, and we'll see you next year. Up the Glens.